Good morning, Lauren. How you doing? Just thought I'd, as I said, I'd do you a little mini video just to kind of go through a few bits to help you out and such. Yeah, this is kind of sort of a new feature I'm sort of trialing, but quite nice to be able to go through the ins and outs of what you're looking for, but obviously via all the changes you've been through. So just to let you know, I've updated most changes, and what I've also done is I have put together answers to all of your questions just to show you. There are in the greyed out bits here some examples of Equid's responses, which I was working with them sort of the last couple of days, but mostly yesterday they came back. The real intricacies of the changes in things like greyed out dates and stuff like that, as I said before, that's actually working with a lady called Mary who's contactable on support@equid.com. So I'll be doing that at some point today, but just to kind of go over a few real key bits with you. Yeah, I've on the e-commerce section, I've had a play with the so the out of stock. Just to quickly gloss over that one, is when you to make something out of stock, you quite simply add in a zero field inside the quantity area. So that would make it out of stock. So if you do run out, just put a zero in there. And again, you can actually do that on the app, which I'm sure you've probably downloaded by now. But if you haven't, click on Get the App, put your mobile number in there, scan that code, and when orders come through, they'll instantaneously come up on your phone. Interestingly, which Hollywell guys should do. You know, the system's just not upgraded for them. Mentioned a couple of times, but that's not come up yet, which is fine. Yep, VAT number or VAT stuff I've added basically to the products now, and it includes VAT as it kind of sort of says. So 200, and then there's basically the VAT part. Related products, I can see that you've done that. That's great. Can you add links to other pages in the description of the e-commerce product page? So yes, you can. And how you do that is e-commerce. I've done it on topsoil, so I'll just quickly find that. Edit. And what you can basically do inside here, you can basically add a link, and then what you do is you click on this bit here and we insert the link, so wherever that URL needs to go to. The thing I would suggest on that is we'll do that after the website's live, so put this as almost like a phase 2 set of changes, as what I would say, because that will need to be rubbles.co.uk, whatever it needs to be, /boom. If we do it at the moment, obviously it's on a test at the moment, so just to give you a bit of an idea. But as I say, it's that button here. While we're also there, I'll show you quickly the adding of pictures, which is actually also quite simple. I've got a Bobcat mini loader picture here, which is uploading, and it'll instantaneously drop it into the text section for you, which was one of your questions also. I actually prefer it in here, if I'm honest, because then someone can download it, but I can click on select and it will place it into the picture area. So you've got your product, you've got your specification, and then they can download that direct as well. So I'll just save that and I'll put that in there as an example. Yeah, minimum quantities, unfortunately we can't do that with the system. However, we can if we upgrade it even further and go direct to Equid, not direct to WoCode essentially. That's something there. Yeah, the greyed out bit for the calendar, I'll CC you on an email to Mary today at Equid. And again, piggyback on that email, because you know, you're the client and I'm obviously working with you. Mary's also the lady that is looking into the bin and skip version that you mentioned, sort of the put a postcode in and it gives you certain sort of businesses as such. Bear with me for a second. Oh, I need to do that. So the next thing to mention really quickly, yeah, related products, I can see you've done that. Descriptions, that's fine. Can you add download buttons? Right, so download buttons, I noticed that you did that. I think that was in the concrete section. Yeah, what I actually did here the best way to do it is either have a complete standalone page, or you can't add more than one button with inside here, you see. So what I've done is, just like I showed you a moment ago, what we can do with inside these areas, inside the forms, we can actually select on these forms, and we can call this whatever, concrete specification list, and then what we can do is we can add a page in, a link, or wherever it needs to go to. We can yeah, I think that's probably the best way to do it. It can even go into a pop-up, as you can see, so it can kind of pop up with that form or whatever it is. But what I would do is have it embedded with inside a URL so that person can then download it. As simple as that. But you have to do it through text, not through the amount of buttons. Yeah, shipping bans is something I really wanted to talk to you about, actually, because what we need to do is we need to create shipping bans for each product section, is the best way of explaining it. Because skips are only delivered to certain areas and the mini diggers are only delivered to certain areas, what we basically need to do is we need to create quite a lot of zones. And it won't be difficult to do, but what we'll need to do is, we'll basically need to set up different zones. So this is where, in the zone settings, what we'll basically do is we will create specific zones for specific products. And then what we'll basically do is, when we finish the product, say for example the screed again, or sorry, let's go for the shingle, what we'll basically be able to do is enable it just to go to a specific shipping zone, which will basically highlight itself, and then we'll say just deliver to the Hertfordshire area, and then it will cross-reference all of the postcodes. Out of stock we've done. General website VAT on, I've switched that on. Search bar, there's a search bar in there now, so inside the top there's a search bar here where you can type in whatever you want to type in, and it will bring up all of the related products to that, as you can see. Next one. Yeah, man in a van picture. That's quite an interesting one, actually, because I'll just give you a top tip here, by the way. If you click on this search bar here, it's clearly not working. And just type in, and just type in man. It brings up all the specific features within inside the website, so I can navigate really easily to man in a van. But just to let you know, this particular piece here, you can actually add icons. So say for example you don't like, I don't know, the recycle icon, because it's not a similar shape actually. We'll go add widget below and icons, and it pulls in icons, you see. Recycle might be one in there. Yeah, so there's a better recycle version. But that's not a picture, that's an icon, just to let you know. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, sweeping column. I didn't know what you meant by sweeping column. Just give me a bit of information on that, please, if you don't mind. Can you create a concrete calculator? So yes, I've managed to actually do that, although I don't know the specific sort of breakdown credentials that we're trying to achieve. So we'll probably have to do that together if you don't mind. But I have created an account on Calconic that's basically put this in. So you can put your specific length, so 100 feet by 10 feet by 1 foot, by 1 foot, and it will calculate it for you, cubic yards. So just to be clear, that's Calconic, which is here. And there are lots of different options and different templates for us to kind of sort of work on. So I'll just quickly sort of demo that. So you'll see that I've created this one here, and you can brand it all up, you can do lots of stuff with it, and you can actually add different widgets and, you know, different calculations and whatnot. What I found quite interesting was using the template part, because inside here there are some real good unit converters, and I noticed there was some cubic yards, which is obviously what I've used, but there's lots in here to actually have a quick flick through. So have a flick through that, and then I'll be able to help you to get that back into the website. But just to confirm getting it into the website, it's an embedded code. So you'll see with inside here, there's the embedded code. And what I've done with inside the website, if I right click and edit content, you'll see that there's all of the what's called the div tag coding that's basically in that. So that's effectively pulling in a widget from somewhere else, which again is just pretty standard, to be honest with you. The about us stuff I've done, and then yes, just to let you know, I've finished at the graphic map area, because there was two things I was going to do here. There was one, I was going to doctor the map that I've obviously created for Holywell here. Alternatively, I was looking into a Google Map option where that we can actually use physical maps and just have pointers on there and stuff. So I'm still looking into that for you. But yeah, as I say, I kind of, on reflection yesterday, when I went back through the changes that I've been working on, I've got most of them. Interestingly, as is, you know, in this day and age, a lot of them are add-ons in terms of monetary add-ons, like the minimum quantities and that kind of sort of thing. But I just thought I'd give you a quick video just to show you how it works. Obviously, really super happy to do this with you on camera, as I said previously. And yeah, and then just kind of sort of give you a bit of an idea where I'm up to anyway. So I think we're getting there actually. We're probably 75% there really. It's just those little ins and outs that we need to cover off. But as kind of sort of said previously, because the sheer vastness of the different types of products and the different variations, delivery zones and that kind of sort of thing, there's a lot more that we need to do in terms of the back end delivery part of it. But I really liked your point of when someone actually orders to pick up the phone and go through the last kind of bits. If I'm honest, I think the way that we need to look at this is get people to buy it online, and then to go through the last mechanics of the few bits, maybe the questions that you really need to ask actually via the phone afterwards, which is kind of sort of the route I'm going down and what I'm sort of thinking. But again, give us a shout after your meeting today. Let's have a catch up with it. Let's go through any kind of sort of changes, and yeah, I'll speak to you a bit later on. But I hope you like the video anyway. I can do as many of these as you like, and yeah, and go from there. But thanks, Lauren, and looking great, by the way. Done a tremendous job. So speak to you later. Cheers.